Another day, another lie. And today we are discussing the placeholder of the White House blowing smoke up the American people's their butts. And this is your favorite half Chinese. So here is a tweet of or from his Truth Social. I would change it into Lie Social of the placeholder of the White House. Here it says, President Xi, at our recent meeting in Beijing, China told me that he would not, under any circumstances, give or sell weapons to the Islamic Republic of Iran. And that statement included Chinese companies considering our relationship. I take him at his word. And besides, I'm doing him a very big favor. Also, likewise, President Putin, despite the horrible war going on in Ukraine, the relationship remains as it does with President Zelensky. Told me that he would not sell weapons to Iran. He understands that I do not sell weapons to Ukraine, but to NATO countries. What? They pay full price, and how those weapons are distributed, I have no idea. Therefore, two major countries that people speak often in terms of Iran are, in my opinion, not participating. If they did, it would be very bad for them, certainly not in their best interest. Thank you for your attention to this matter. President DJT. Yeah, there's a lot there what is just a load of BS, like honestly. But we're going to dissect this whole problem with China. I have here the official statement of China. This is from the Foreign Ministry of Foreign Affairs of China itself. And this is Wang Yi meets with the Iranian counterpart, Minister Arakci. I hope I pronounce it correctly. If not, I'm deeply sorry to the Iranians. Maybe you can teach me how to pronounce it. That would be cool. Here it says, Wang Yi expressed that China is deeply concerned about the recent escalations of tensions in the Middle East and the Gulf. The Memorandum of Understanding signed more than a month ago is a valuable result of the mediation of many parties, and it is pinned to the peace expectation of the people of Iran and the Middle East to stop fighting in Ampang. I think that is a mistranslation because I translated this directly from the page into English so I could read it for you guys. The door to negotiations should not be closed when it is opened, and peace should not be abandoned as long as there is hope. It is imperative to adhere to the direction of negotiation and resolve disputes and return to the implementation of the Memorandum of Understanding as a comprehensive, and here it comes, strategic partner. China firmly supports Iran in safeguarding its sovereignty, security, and national dignity. Will uphold President Xi Jinping's four-point proposal to maintain and promote peace and stability in the Middle East. Continue to support Pakistan and other parties in their efforts to mediate, resume dialogue and negotiation between the parties at an early date. Properly handle the Strait of Hormuz, promote the improvement of relations between neighboring countries, see collective security among the Gulf states, and contribute to the early restoration of peace and tranquility in the Middle East. Now, this part makes it really, really clear. It says, as a comprehensive strategic partner, China firmly supports Iran in safeguarding its sovereignty, security, and national dignity. There's nothing that said that they will not sell weapons or will not support Iran. In fact, they say actually quite the opposite. And for the people who do not understand, and for the Americans who are still willing to believe what their ruler says, I want you to understand one thing and listen very carefully to me. Do you remember those air bases, how they were boom boomed? from the beginning to the end? Yes? Yes, you remember, right? All those US military bases? How do you think those missiles got there? Do you think that the missiles were asking the clouds for directions? Or do you think they were guided by a certain GPS system? If it was on the GPS system, then the United States could easily just take them off the GPS, just like they once did to a Chinese boat. And when they did that to a Chinese boat, then the Chinese did something else in response. You know what the Chinese did? They built their own GPS system. And now we get back to the missiles. How do you think that those missiles got there? Yeah, even the people who willingly want to believe the placeholder of the White House should be waking up right now. He is telling you lies. And I can't believe that there are still Americans that want to believe, even though there's so many details that is disputing everything he says. That's to me is so mind-boggling. If this would happen in China, if politicians in China would lie like this, oh my God, the streets would be full of people asking for resignation. But Americans, they're like, yeah, it's normal. And I'm not saying that Americans should go onto the streets, but it is just like to see the difference between the two people. But then when we look at the projection from the West, what we have about the Chinese people in mainland China is like they never say a word. They're just bowing their head down, etc., etc. But when we look at the West, that is exactly what we are doing, and the Chinese are doing exactly the opposite. Maybe something to think about, like honestly, how you all have been fooled. Honestly, I'm not saying this to offend anybody. I'm saying this because I want you all to wake up. And on that note, I will ask you to not only buy me a coffee if you can, but I have a buy me a coffee link for the people that want and can support my work. But also, if you would be so kind to click that like button and subscribe, that would help me a lot. And I certainly hope that you all will wake up. Your favorite half Chinese. Have a great day.